What does it mean to be proud? For many of us, the first people we want to make proud are our parents. We want them to look at us, at our work, at our lives, and to smile a real happy smile of approval. A graduation day is a special day for this. It is a symbol of years of hard work. It is a day when you stand tall and say, "I did it." And you hope with all your heart that your family will be there, cheering for you. My graduation day was a day I had dreamed about for years, but my dream did not come true. I would like to know, what is an achievement that you are very proud of? Please share your story in the comments. My name is Maya, and my story begins on the day I should have been the happiest. I grew up in a house where success had a very clear definition. My parents were both very successful lawyers. My older brother, Mark, was just like them. He was smart, ambitious, and he also became a lawyer. He was the perfect son. My parents were so proud of him. His picture was on the wall, in his dark suit, looking so serious and successful. And then there was me. I was the different one. I was quiet. I was a dreamer. I did not want to be a lawyer or a doctor. I loved art. I loved the smell of paint. I loved the way you could take a white, empty canvas and fill it with color and feeling. My dream was to be an artist, or maybe an art teacher for children. My room was the only colorful, messy place in our perfect, organized house. It was my world. My parents did not understand my dream. They did not see it as a real future. "Art is a nice hobby, Maya," my father would say, "but it is not a career. You cannot build a life on pretty pictures." They wanted me to study something serious, like business or economics. But for the first time in my life, I did not do what they wanted. I applied to art school, and when I was accepted, I went. Those 4 years were the hardest and the best years of my life. My parents paid for my education, but they never gave me their support. They never came to my art shows. They never asked to see my paintings. Every phone call was the same. "Are you sure about this, Maya? It is not too late to change to a business degree." Their disapproval was a constant, heavy weight on my heart. But I worked so hard. I wanted to prove to them that they were wrong. I wanted to show them that a life of art could be a successful life. I dreamed of the day when they would come to my graduation, see my work, and finally say the words I wanted to hear my whole life. "We are proud of you." And then, the day was finally here, my graduation day. I felt a nervous, happy excitement. I had done it. I had finished my degree. I had even won a special award for my final project, a series of large, colorful paintings. And I had a job, a real job. I was going to be an assistant art teacher at a local community center. It was not a big, fancy job like my brother's, but it was my dream. I was going to share my love of art with children. My parents and my brother came to the ceremony. I was so full of hope. Today was the day. They would finally see my success. They would finally understand. I got ready in my cap and gown. My parents were quiet. Their smiles were small and tight. They looked at the other students, the ones in business and engineering, and I could see the disappointment in their eyes. After the ceremony, I found them outside. The sun was shining. Happy students were everywhere, hugging their proud families. My brother hugged me first. "Congratulations, little sister," he said. "I am so proud of you." His words were a small, warm light. Then I turned to my parents. I was holding my diploma in my hand. It was a symbol of my hard work, of my dream. I looked at them, my heart open and waiting. My father looked at me, his face serious. My mother looked at the ground. "Well, Grace," my father said, using my formal name, "we are happy that this is over." He paused for a moment. "But we must be honest with you. We are not proud. A degree in art is not a real achievement. This is not the future we wanted for you." His words were quiet. They were not angry. They were just a cold, hard, and simple truth, and they broke my heart. The happy sounds of my graduation day faded away, but my father's words stayed. "We are not proud of you." They were a constant, quiet echo in my mind. The first few weeks after that day were very difficult. The joy and pride I felt in my own achievement were gone, replaced by a deep, heavy sadness. I had worked so hard to prove my parents wrong, but I had failed. In their eyes, I was a disappointment. I started my new job at the community center. My classroom was a bright, happy room, always full of the smell of paint and clay. I was teaching art to young children, and I loved it. I loved seeing their faces light up when they created something new. I loved the messy, chaotic, and beautiful energy of the classroom. My work was a small island of happiness in a sea of sadness. But even there, my parents' words would follow me. When I would tell them a happy story about my students, my mother would just say, "That's nice, dear. Are you saving enough money?" They never asked if I was happy. They only asked if I was successful in their way. My relationship with my parents became a cold, distant thing. I stopped trying to share my life with them. It was too painful to see their constant, quiet disapproval. I put all my energy into my work and into my own painting at night. But my art was different now. Before, I painted for the joy of it. Now I painted with a desperate hunger. I wanted to be successful. I wanted to be famous. I wanted to create a painting that was so good, so important, that my parents would finally have to admit that they were proud of me. The joy of creating was gone. My art was now a weapon in a silent war against their disappointment. I was becoming a tired, serious person. The easy smile that my mother missed was gone. My brother, Mark, was worried about me. He would call and say, "Maya, you have to stop trying to win their approval. You will never get it. You just have to be happy for yourself." I knew he was right, but I could not stop. The need for my parents' pride was a deep, empty hole in my heart. The turning point, the moment that began to heal that hole, was not a big, successful art show. It was a small, quiet girl in my afternoon class. Her name was Lily. She was 7 years old, and she was a little ghost. She never spoke. She never smiled. She would just sit at the back of the classroom, her eyes big and sad. The other children played and laughed, but Lily was always alone in her silent world. I tried to talk to her, to help her, but she would not let me in. I did not push her. I just made sure she always had clean paper and bright, colorful paints. I would smile at her every day. For weeks, she did not paint anything. She would just hold the brush in her hand. Then one day, she started to paint. She painted a picture of a small, gray house under a big, dark, rainy cloud. It was a simple, sad little picture, but it was a start. She had put her feeling onto the paper. After class, a young woman came to pick her up. It was her mother. She looked as tired and as sad as her daughter. She saw the painting in Lily's hand. She looked at it, and then she looked at Lily. A small, surprised smile touched her lips. She knelt down in front of her daughter. "You made this?" she asked. Lily gave a tiny, small nod. Her mother's eyes filled with tears. She looked up at me. "Thank you," she whispered, her voice full of so much emotion. Her father passed away 6 months ago. She has not expressed any feeling since then. She has not spoken a word. This is the first time. The work you are doing here. It is so important. I am so proud of you for helping my daughter." Her words. "I am so proud of you." A stranger, the mother of one of my students. She was proud of me, not for being rich or famous or successful in a big way. She was proud of me because I had helped her small, sad child. I looked at Lily's painting, and I looked at her mother's grateful, tear-filled eyes. And in that moment, I understood. My parents' definition of success was wrong. This was success, helping a sad child find her voice, making a small positive difference in the world. This was something to be proud of. And for the first time, the pride I felt was not for my parents. It was for myself. The words of Lily's mother, "I am so, so proud of you," were a gift. They were a key that unlocked a door in my heart. After that day, something inside me shifted. I started to see my life with new eyes. I looked at my small, messy classroom, and I did not see a simple, unimportant job. I saw a place of magic, a place of healing. I looked at my students, at their happy, paint-covered hands, and I saw the real important work I was doing. I was helping to build their confidence. I was giving them a safe place to show their feelings. This was not a small thing. This was a very, very big thing. My art changed too. I went home, and I looked at the big, serious paintings I was trying to create, the ones I thought would make me famous, and I realized I did not like them. They were not honest. They were full of a need for approval. So, I took a new, clean canvas, and I started to paint for myself again. I painted the things I loved, the happy, chaotic energy of my classroom, the brave, quiet face of my little student, Lily. I painted for the joy of it, and my art, my real, honest art, started to come back to life. I was letting go of the heavy weight of my parents' expectations. I was slowly, quietly, learning to be proud of myself. The final test came a few months later, at a big family dinner for my father's birthday. It was the first time I had seen my whole family in a long time. I was nervous, but I was not scared anymore. The dinner was the same as always. My brother Mark talked about a big, important case he had won. My parents were so proud, their faces shining with approval. Then, my father turned to me. It was my turn. "So, Maya," he said, in his formal, serious voice, "how is your little hobby job going? Have you thought about my suggestion? About getting a license to sell real estate? It's a very good market right now." In the past, his words would have made me feel small and sad. In the past, I would have become quiet and defensive. But this time, I was different. I took a deep breath, and I smiled a real calm smile. "My job is going wonderfully, Dad," I said, my voice clear and steady. "I am not interested in real estate. I am an art teacher. I love my work. It is important work, and it makes me very happy." My mother sighed her usual disappointed sigh. "But happiness does not pay the bills, Maya," she said. "We just want you to have a secure, respectable life." I looked at my mother, at this woman I had tried so hard to please my whole life, and I felt a wave of a sad, gentle love for her. "My life is respectable, Mom," I said, "and I am secure. Maybe not in the way you understand, but I have enough, and I have happiness, and I have realized something. For a long time, I thought my job was to make you proud of me, but I see now that my real job is to be proud of myself. And I am. I am very, very proud of the life I am building." The table was silent. My parents just looked at me. They were shocked. They had never heard me speak with so much confidence. My brother looked at me, and he had a big, proud smile on his face. My parents did not say anything else. They did not have any more words, because their words did not have any more power over me. I did not need their approval anymore. I had finally found my own. After that dinner, I felt a new kind of freedom. The heavy weight of my parents' disappointment was gone. I had placed it on the floor, and I had walked away. I did not need to carry it anymore. My life opened up in a beautiful new way. My work with the children at the community center became my greatest joy. I was a good teacher. I saw a small, sad girl like Lily learn to smile again through painting. I saw a loud, angry boy learn to be calm and focused when he worked with clay. I was not just teaching art, I was helping children to heal. My own art became my truest voice. I stopped trying to paint big, important pictures. I just painted my life. I painted the small, beautiful, and real moments. I painted the joy on a child's face. I painted the quiet strength in the eyes of Lily's mother. My art was not for them anymore. It was for me. And because it was honest, it became good. So good, in fact, that the owner of a small local art gallery saw my work and asked me to have my own show. It was a small show, just 10 of my paintings hanging on a white wall. But to me, it was a bigger success than any law degree. I sent an invitation to my parents. I did not expect them to come. I did not invite them because I needed their approval anymore. I invited them because they were my parents, and this was my life, and I wanted to share it with them, with no expectations. On the night of the opening, the small gallery was full of my friends, my students, and their families. It was a warm, happy, and loud room. And then, I saw them, my parents. They were standing in a corner, looking a little lost. They looked at my paintings. They did not say anything. My heart was calm. It was okay if they did not like them. It was okay if they did not understand. Then, I saw my mother stop in front of one painting. It was the painting of Lily, the sad little girl, holding up her first picture of the gray house under the rainy cloud. My mother just stood there, looking at it for a long time. Later, just before they left, she came over to me. She looked at me, and her eyes were a little soft. "That painting of the little girl," she said quietly. "It tells a very strong story, Maya." My father was standing behind her. He just nodded and said, "Your brother was right. You are happy here." They were not the words I had dreamed of hearing my whole life. They were not the words, "We are proud of you." But in a way, they were better. They were a small, quiet sign of acceptance. They were seeing my world. They were seeing me. Our relationship started to slowly heal after that night. It was a new kind of relationship, a relationship between adults, based on a quiet, new respect. I learned that you cannot force people to understand your dream, and you cannot spend your life waiting for their approval. True pride does not come from other people. It comes from the quiet, strong feeling in your own heart when you know you are living a life that is true to yourself. My life is not the big, successful life my parents wanted for me. It is a small, quiet, and colorful life that I built myself, and I am so, so proud of it. If this story about finding your own self-worth was meaningful to you, please give this video a like. What does the word success mean to you? Share your beautiful thoughts in the comments below. For more emotional English stories that will help you learn, please be sure to follow our channel.